It's early April, in fact it's my birthday today, and I've come out for a bird walk and I'm going to take you along with me. We're starting off on a housing estate which will then lead through to some farm fields, and then we'll be going on to an area of parkland known as Old Down, finally ending up in a park called Beggarwood Park before going back to my home. This is all taking place in Basingstoke. So already I've seen 3 red kites with a carrion crow chasing them, a lesser black-backed gull on someone's roof, and heard some goldfinch. Oh, that could well be some more lesser blackbacks. Anyway, I'll take you along and we'll see what we find. As we leave the housing estate, we come onto the farm fields, and already I can hear skylarks singing. Just saw a magpie. There's some goldfinches that sound like they are arguing with each other with a very buzzy call. And I'm going to have a look over the field and see what's flying. Hopefully, we might be lucky enough to see some swallows. So this is really lovely. We have this lane that runs alongside the farm fields, and over those fields before we've seen pheasants, red kite, and in these hedgerows we've seen yellowhammers. As I said, there is a skylark singing. I've got a blue tit quite close to me calling, and there's butterflies around. I've seen a white one, a blue one, and a yellow one, but I'm not very good with butterflies. So far, apart from that blackbird in the background, I can hear skylark. I've just seen a blackcap, 8 wood pigeons in the field, 4 magpies and a pheasant also in that field. Walking alongside people's gardens, I've seen house sparrow, heard greenfinch, heard wrens, and there's a blackcap singing behind me. And I'm now walking alongside this farm field, really hoping that I might see some yellowhammers and possibly some swallows or house martins. Well, I thought I wasn't going to get out the farm field, but luckily there was a gap in the hedge. A little bit hard to get through, but I made it. And now I'll head on to a place called Old Down, which is, it just leads off from this path. That notice board that I just showed you tells us that this is the line of an old Roman road that went between Silchester and Winchester, which were the 2 main local Roman towns. The section of parkland that we're about to walk along is the edge of Old Down. It's a woodland park, and the edge of it is part of a very ancient woodland, which, although there's development right up to the edge of it, they still have retained a small strip of it. I'll see if I can still walk through it, because in there I've found woodpeckers before. Oh, and goldcrests, so fingers crossed that I can still get through. A beautiful selection of primroses in the woodland. And there's also a place where reptiles can sunbathe. Sadly, I couldn't find the path actually in the woods, so I am travelling down the side of the wood. But I have heard blackcap and woodpecker, and I could hear rustling in the hedge. I thought maybe there was a deer in there, but it was wood pigeons. This is the path that I'll be continuing to follow. On the left, behind the hedge, Old Down opens up, and it's a great place in the summer for wildflowers and butterflies. On the right-hand side here, you can see the edge of the Old Down woodland, which is what I'm walking past. I did finally find a way into the woodland, but quite near the end of it, which is close to the road, which is why you've got so much road noise there. What I have discovered is a woodpecker drumming. If only he would drum again. But I'm very near the end of this part of the walk, I'll then be going into Beggarwood Park, which is, I think it may be an extension of what used to be Old Down, but it's now surrounded by houses and acts as green space for the people who live in those houses. I was hoping to hear a willow warbler here. There had been one reported over the last few days, but I've not been lucky. Where is that woodpecker? While I've only had fleeting glimpses of the woodpecker, what I can hear right now is a nuthatch, which I'm delighted to have so close to home. I've also discovered 2 stock doves in the tree next to me, a carrion crow sitting quietly up in the branches above, and a pair of jackdaws that appear to be building a nest in a hole in the tree. So, oh, here's the nuthatch. I just heard stock dove calling, and it reminded me that this woodland was the first place that I ever heard stock dove call. I can't remember which episode I included it in, but I heard a call that I didn't quite recognise, that I thought came from a pigeon or a dove, but it was kind of going ooh, ooh, and it turned out to be a stock dove, and I just heard them again just now, and it brought back those memories of my very first encounter. Of course, it won't do it again now on camera. So here we say goodbye to the woodland and come back into the housing estates of Basingstoke. But I will be crossing the road and walking through Beggarwood Park. Ahead of us are some trees with rookery in, and there are plenty of rooks and jackdaws feeding, probably looking for grubs in the lawn. I just saw one that had an overhanging beak that looks like one that comes to my garden. I'm about a mile away from here. It could be. It didn't seem to recognise me, sadly. So I'm going to walk through the park and end up at the shops, where I may even buy myself a birthday cake. Because did I mention it's my birthday today? Well, I stopped for a lovely toasty and iced coffee in the cafe in the park and treated myself to a birthday cupcake. So I'm all suitably refreshed, and now it's time for the last little bit that takes me home. It's wonderful to see so many people out enjoying the weather and enjoying the park. I'll walk down beside all of the trees and the bushes and hope to get a few more bird species. I'm still holding my hopes out for a willow warbler. Didn't get one up at Old Down, but maybe there'll be one in Beggarwood. And I still haven't seen a swallow, so I should keep my eyes peeled for that as well. There's a strip of woodland that borders the housing estate and the park, and I'm just going to take a little walk through it. I can currently hear some blue tits and a black cat singing. I have seen nuthatch in here before, so maybe there'll be some more. This is so exciting. I'm just a few streets from home and I've just seen a firecrest. I think that's the closest that I've ever had a firecrest to home. And it's just in these woods that are bordering Beggarwood Park. So I'm so excited about that. I'm going to hang around here. People keep walking past and looking at me like I'm really strange. It was just calling just then. That's a blue tit. There it is. The long call. Very high pitched. Interestingly, when I was very close to it and I heard its song, this particular bird, whether all firecrests do this or just this one, had a very slight up tilt at the end, like a little squeak. But anyway, I'm extremely excited. I think that's my bird of the day. That was honestly so cool that in that little spot I had Firecrest, Nuthatch, blackcap, blue tit and great tit, wood pigeons. But absolute highlight was having the Firecrest so close. I've moved on now because it seems to be hanging around that area, and I don't want to disturb it if it's got a partner and looking for a nesting spot. This little piece of woodland at the side of Beggarwood Park has been absolutely brilliant, a great finish to my walk. I've been out for over 5 hours. Well, to be fair, one of those hours I was having my hair done. Did you notice my hair's looking lovely? Well, it was before it got melted in the sun. I've been out for about 4 hours actually birding, and all in the streets around where I live. Really interesting to see all the birds that are here. But it's been a lovely day, very hot, which is unusual for my birthday because it has snowed on my birthday in the past. But I'm not complaining, I'm enjoying it while I can. And it's lovely hearing all the birds' song as well, so close to home. I've seen 27 species over all my checklists. Really thrilled to have seen stock dove, chiffchaff, blackcap, but my absolute bird of the day was Firecrest, just a few streets from home, just absolutely thrilling to see. I was sad not to see any house martins or swallows flying around, but that's the way it is. Maybe they've not got here just yet. So very close to home now, just doing the final few paths. Saw one more species, that's 28 species. I heard a bullfinch in the hedgerow next to us. Coming out on a day like today and seeing how nice it is with the blossom in the trees and the green spaces between the housing estates. So there are little patches of places for wild birds to nest, to live in amongst our housing estates. So I'm very thankful for that. Absolutely gorgeous day, so much bird song, and a really nice way to spend my birthday.